Hello friends, Stub here, playing some more Islands. So today I wanted to show you guys how to find an island when you want to leave your starter island. So this is, actually I built my base right here on the very first island that we start on. There's a few things you're going to want to do so you don't just end up drifting out there in the ocean and get lost. It does happen. I've been watching some people do videos where they just kind of set sail on a raft and they end up just drifting around for hours on end looking. There's a few things you can do to keep that from happening to you. And they're really not too complicated. So there's no sense in not setting up a little bit of a base on the first island, because it's one of the easiest islands to get along on. There's a lot of resources to it, so I highly recommend just setting up, getting a little bit of a base of operations started up here on your very first island. The first thing you're going to want to do, in my opinion, is get a map up. So you start with just even a fireplace or a stove. I'm actually going to take my eggs. So what you want to do is make some wood pulp. It just takes wood pieces, put in there, get a wood pulp, then you got to craft yourself up a paper press to make a piece of paper. So to make the paper press, it takes, here's your crafting requirements: 5 logs, 10 iron ingots, and 1 hammer. Pretty easy. Just a stone hammer is all you need. Iron ingots you're going to want anyway. You get that by making the furnace up. I mean, you're going to want a furnace, a stove, a blacksmith forge, and a kiln. I mean, these are just all things you're going to want. As well as, I would make a loom and 3 spinning wheels. All these items are, here's how you're going to craft them. So the spinning wheels, here's the crafting requirements: pole, wood pieces, rope. Pretty easy. Now the loom, also not difficult, just poles and rope. And that'll get you the fabric. So the spinning wheels make you yarn. The yarn makes you repair kits and sails, but also makes you fabric. And actually, or cloth. And the cloth is what you want to use to make the sails. On the other side, you need clay to make your blazing smelt furnace. Alright, so we do furnace. There you go. So you need clay. Alright, and for that, then you go to the blacksmith forge. Blacksmith forge, you need clay, bellows, anvil, and any hammer. The bellows aren't that bad to make, if I remember. Either cloth in a sewing kit or leather in a sewing kit. Of course, sewing kit, like I said, you just need a needle and a yarn out of one of the spinners. And then that was the blacksmith forge. And the other thing that you're going to need is, what was that? The kiln. So the kiln is just clay. Easy enough. That's pretty much it. The stove, you don't need to make it, but you can if you want. You can just use a campfire, but you gotta keep refilling it. Stove is just iron and a hammer. Pretty simple. So I'm gonna keep crafting my iron up here. I died, so I'm replacing all my stuff. I was in the cave. I got killed by an alpha. You should check out the video. It's yep, it's interesting. Caves get very expansive. Much more than you think early on. So once we get our map, or I should say once we get our paper, then we make our map up. The map is pretty easy to make. You make your paper in a press. From there we go to a map. The map is just a blank sheet of paper and a writing tool, or a blank leather sheet and a writing tool. Which I think the leather sheet you just make with a piece of leather and a knife. Yeah, leather and knife to make the sheet. So if you don't want to do the paper press, I guess you can just go that way with the leather loom. Or the leather, what do they call it? This guy, tanning rack. So then from there, to make the map, you just need a writing utensil. Crafting. So we go to the map, and a writing tool. Writing tool, coal counts as a writing tool. So all you do is find yourself some coal, and that'll work to write with. You can also make a pencil out of charcoal and a stick, I believe is how you make a pencil. No real need. Like I said, you're going to use coal to burn all this stuff anyway, so I may as well just grab that. So that gives us pretty much all the components we're going to need to make the small boat. I would not use the raft. The raft is a pain to control. You have to keep pushing forward, and it will drift around on you. And it keeps you from going in a straight line, which is definitely not something you want to be dealing with. So we go to a boat, and here's the little boat. So a little boat, we have planks, nails, cloth, log, and cotton, or a hammer. Just any hammer. So for any hammer, we're going to grab a stone. Actually, I don't think I have any. Come up here and grab a rock. We'll make a stone hammer. And that should be it, because I think it's just a stick, a rope, and a hammer. So crafting, stone hammer. Now we should be able to make the boat. There we go. That's all we need to make the small boat. Now because the boat has a little gear in the top right corner of the icon, it means it's a placeable. So as soon as you craft it, it plops down. So what we're going to do, come on down to the water. Let's go back to I, crafting the boat. So when we right click on it from here, it just plops it in the water. So plop that guy down, and boom, we got a boat. It really is that easy. So the map, now that we've got one, I've actually got it on my hotbar, but you can see this is the map. I put it on my number 6 slot. So now if I go to 6 and open it, it shows us where we are. Then as you travel, it populates. And this is where I've been so far. Actually, this island here? No. Here. This island is where my other boat is, where I died. So if I come up here, I go get my boat back. So my body's inside a cave up here. And this is where I'm at. So I just got to head basically north. You can see when you're in a map, you've got the compass here. So if I head north-northeast, we'll get up to that. But I'll show you how to look if you don't know where anything is. I'll also give you an idea as to how to look for stuff. So we're going to right click to get in the boat. There's a reverse. And then forward drops the sail. And you got to turn. I'm turning. Turn it. Don't run me aground. Watch out for the urchin. And you can see in the right, the compass is actually moving. And we're gonna point ourselves north-northeast because right now I know where I'm going. If you don't know where you're going, this is kind of what you want to do. So the other thing I'm doing now is, see, I can just let go of the controls and it keeps going forward. If you're using the raft with a paddle, you have to keep pushing forward, and you can move from side to side and drift around. Not something you want to get into. So let's go back to our map. I actually, on this little boat, well, actually in the big boat too, but you can't open up the map while you're driving, so I got to release controls by hitting right. I also can't eat, so I'll hit 5 for my food, eat some foods, some fishes, eat some more, get ready. Eat some more, there we go. Now I'm no longer hungry. So now 6, we'll look at the map. So what you're going to see as you move along, obviously it populates. You can zoom in and out with the mouse wheel. Unfortunately, at this point in the game releases tomorrow, you can't zoom out any farther than this, so it's hard to see very far. But you're not going to want to go real far to find the next island. You can see where this one here is. So that's kind of the distance you want to look for. You've got more up here. And there's one there. This is where I am, so you can see it's not a real long distance. And as you go, you can see this line that I took. You get into deep water, it's deep blue water. Then after, as you start to come out, you start to see these shallow spots. If you see these shallow spots that you go by, like if I just kept going this way, I might have passed this island. But I'd see the shallow stuff. I can go back and look in this area more for an island to pop in. The other thing that you're going to have is, as we're sailing, you want to look for birds on the horizon, which is something everybody's been talking about and doing, but there aren't always birds. So you don't always have a direction to go off based on birds. They can also be, I think they can be misleading in my opinion too, but because you can have birds in multiple directions at the same time. So I should have waited for more daylight to set sail. When you do it, you're probably going to want to go that route because it's going to be dark on me. I'm just fortunate that I know where I'm going. Nope, not I want to go to the map. So I'm kind of bobbing around here. You can, if the map doesn't fill in, if you just move it around, it'll populate like that for you. So yeah, so as you're out here moving, oh, I see the wind must be blowing me to the side a bit in the little boat. But see, if I didn't have a map, once I lose sight of this island, I don't even really know how to get back. You might be able to judge by the moon and the sun, but you can't count on it because storms pop up too. And like I said, you get turned around. See, I already got turned almost 90 degrees to the right. Uh-oh. But I only got turned if I'm actually steering the boat. Alright, so now, back to here. Alright, so you can see, like where I am now, is shallower water. So if you're just going through a wide open stretch and don't see any signs of land, any birds, nothing on the horizon, go back and look for shallow bits of water, and then go back and search that area. That's going to get you onto some land. Like I said, fortunately, I just happen to know where I'm going. I'm heading up here to get my boat back. But yep, this little boat is definitely the way to go. I did a video on building the big ship. You can go check that out if you want to see what the crafting requirements and stuff are to build a big ship. That's definitely my recommendation, is I would stay around the first island until you get the big ship built up, build your base right on it, and then take your base with you. Cruise out into the deep blue, because you can have all of your food, your storage, your crafting benches all right there on the ship with you. That's the way to go, in my opinion. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Playing multiple games, it controls. Where's my map? There's the map. So yep, so we're getting back into it again. So yeah, like I said, as you can see, that I'm getting out of the shallow water into deep water now. But because this isn't a big span, there's actually not going to be wide open blue in front of me on this one, like there was here and out here. You can see I was kind of doing a grid search. So I came down all the way down here, got into deep water, didn't find anything. I saw this little bit of shallowness, and I knew I was getting pretty far from the island, so I turned right, right almost 90 degree plus angle, came up, and there was nothing. Came all the way up here, again, still nothing. Then when I got up to here, I started to find shallow water. I came out to here, I got out of it again, so I turned around and came back. And the island actually ended up being here. So if I had taken a right here, searched this, I would have found this island in here a little bit quicker. But that's, okay, we're still doing good here. Yep, so, like I said, I saw the shallow water was here, so there had to be an island somewhere in this direction. When I came through here, I think it was a heavy storm, so I couldn't see birds, couldn't see anything else. But like I said, once you start to get out in the really big open blue water, I would turn around. At this point, I don't believe there's anything really far out, because I know people have gone really far. I'm gonna try to probably do some AFKing and just sail off, see how far I go, but I have not gotten there yet. Yeah, see, because the way the wind must be blowing, I keep veering off to the left. And if you didn't have a map, you have no idea. If you're lucky, you'd end up back at where you started from. Wouldn't even know that for sure. See, there's an island right there. That's the one. So yeah, there is, if you hit that gap between islands, you can keep going and going. And if you're not lucky, you could spend hours out at sea looking for something. So at least with those tips, that'll get you to something quicker. Again, if you see a lot of deep blue for a long period of time, I'd turn around, double back, or start doing a grid search. But I wouldn't go too far from the island that you left, especially the initial island. Hopefully you can zoom the map out farther soon. That'll make it quite a bit better. But we'll see if they get it there or not. Yep, so here's my tropical island. It is worth exploring, but it is, in my opinion, not worth leaving too early. Get yourself set up, get some metal armor, get some good weapons, a sword, at least a sword and a crossbow. Hit the water and let me know what you find. If you find any islands really far away, let me know. Let me know how far they are, how many islands you had to pass to get out to them, and all that sort of thing. Well, here we are, guys. We made it back to the ship. So that was that's sail on the sea. So as you can see, we kept veering left because the way the wind was blowing. But we made it, we wound up making our way back over, got back to the ship, so that's all good. But like I said, when you're out just cruising the big open water, there's a lot of space out here where it can just be nothing but blueness. And this is how I figured it out. I did it. I haven't been here. I have done it. And this takes quite a while to sail around. But you can see as you get closer to an island, even from quite a distance off, there's a fair amount of shallow water. So just avoid the big blue, and you should be pretty good. When you get to that point, you can always go back and start searching way out farther and farther away, but you don't want to venture out too far because you just don't have to. This is our first island. I've got an island down here, but you can see how far away it is. You've got a little bit of blue water, but it never goes super deep. And it never stays real deep blue for a long time in between, at least between the first 6 or 8 islands. So I've probably actually got another island somewhere out here I can find. But from here to here, not very far. So keep that in mind when you're out there looking. The first one to the north for me is, you can see them both on the map almost at the same time. That's how close together they are. And then the next one from here to here, I haven't uncovered this yet, but there's a bunch of island right here. Again, you can see them almost on the map at the same time. So don't go drifting way out to sea. You'll find what you're looking for. The center will bring you back to where you are. And you should be good. Let me know what you find out there on the seas. Subscribe to the channel. See my new stuff as it comes out. Check out the other Ylands videos I've done. I did one on building a ship. I upgraded from this ship to another one with a house on it. I'm Stub. You guys are awesome. Game on.